acquire general type of books which may be useful to housewife, like the horticulture, agriculture, or design, tailoring design, or whatever it may be, which may be useful to housewives also. So like this, you may find that the objectives of each type of library varies depending on its type, and accordingly the acquisition policy or the collection development policy of each library differs. So those guidelines. So what is meant by a policy? It is a guideline provided to the librarian what type of material it should acquire. So remember this. Policy is different than the procedure. If you call about a procedure is nothing but it is telling about acquisition or cataloging, whatever it may be, step-by-step procedure. But policy is not step-by-step procedure, but it depending on the objectives of the organization, a document or guideline is prepared. That is known as what we call as the collection development policy or document, policy document which we prepare in the library. Next thing is selection policy. How we select the material in a library, that is known as the selection of policy of the library. It is also defined. Normally, as a librarian, one cannot acquire himself or a single person decision. Normally, the selection policy states that the material demanded by the library users is to be acquired with the consent of the library committee. Whether it is a special library or it is an academic library or it is a public library, there will be a what we call library committee is constituted by the competent authorities. The higher maybe the principal, maybe a university vice chancellor, maybe a director of an organization, or the government in case of the public libraries, director of public libraries may constitute a library committee. No doubt, the librarian himself will be a member convener or member secretary of that committee, which decides the what materials are to be what materials they are recommending to be acquired in the library. It is a group. What is the composition of a library committee? Library committee consists of subject experts in an organization. It is the library committee is constituted by the head of the organization. He may choose the heads of different divisions or different subject experts so as to assist the librarian for the selection, and this librarian himself becomes he is made as a one of the library member committee member, and he may also act as the convener or the what we call member secretary. So whatever suggestions are received from the readers or the users, whatever they are demanding is collected in the form of what we call the suggestions from the readers, or we call indents, and all those suggestions are collected. They are put up to the library committee. Librarian himself may also present certain things there, like what reference materials are available, latest material available in the subject fields of the organization, and those things are they may put the pamphlets, they may put the what we call book reviews, they may put the pamphlets received from the publishers to the committee, and depending along with the suggestions received from the readers, and the committee may recommend some of the materials to be acquired, and they are approved through the library committee minutes. They are put to the organizational heads. They may approve, and then next thing comes whatever has been approved, how to acquire those things. So there will be what we call as there is a selection policy, same way there will be acquisition policy. How you are going to acquire the material in the library is nothing but what we call as the acquisition policy of the library, which is a part of the selection policy. It may be categorized as the sub part of the selection policy, where the materials are acquired. Normally, how you are acquiring the material in the library, how the librarian is going to acquire the material based on the, as I told, recommended material of the committee, and which is approved by the organizational head, and depending on the available financial resources. You have to see also that whatever committee may recommend so many things, but your financial resources, the budget which is provided to you, should be sufficient to acquire those material. Then only you will be able to acquire the material. If there is a shortage of budget, there may be recommendations for so many things to be acquired in the library, but you may not be able to meet those requirements unless until proper budget is given to the library. So librarian has to see that the whatever budget is given to the library, it is properly judiciously spent for acquiring those materials which are approved by the organization heads, depending on the recommendations of the committee. Apart from the purchases which library is making, what you depending on the requirements of library, purchases are made. Apart from that, there may be some exchanges. You may receive free material from other organizations. Whatever you are publishing, your organization is publishing, you may send to others. Others, whatever they are publishing, or those organizations may send to you. We call it as a exchange of material. And also there you may, as a librarian, you may receive some donations or some gifts from the different organizations, different philanthropists who would like to donate to the library some intellectual material. You may get it. And also sometimes there will be what we call deposits by law, legal deposits. We call it as legal. Please, Aparna, please mute yourself. Some disturbance is coming. Please. Pravina, please. Pravina, please mute. There is some disturbance. So, apart from the purchases which you are making from the money available, you can also add some of the things depending on the exchange, depending on the gifts received from the people, donations received from the people, as well as legal deposits made by law. Means, hello, please. Some of you, please, Bhagyalakshmi, please mute. Some disturbance is coming. All of you, please keep in mute mode so that there should be no disturbance. Hello, Ravina, please mute. Hello. Waggu Pravina, please mute yourself.
Participant, please,
Hello.
if you can mute the participant.
Waggu Pravina, please, you are disturbing others. Please mute. So legal deposit means sometimes what happens now, by legally, whatever new books are published by different publishers are to be deposited in some of the libraries. Hello, Ravina. Hello, Ravina, please mute. Is my voice reaching you? So legal deposits also form the part of the public publications to be added to the library, which are you are getting it from the publisher. For example, in public libraries, they, as per law, whatever new publications are published, 3 copies are to be deposited. One copy goes to the regional state library, and also other 2 copies are sent to the registrar of the publication, through which it is distributed to the library. So those things also forms the collection. So now I don't know how Waggu Pravina, you are not muting yourself when I am telling lot of disturbance is coming to others. Please mute. So now coming to the purchases. When you are making purchases in a library, those purchases can be done. You have to, normally there is a procedure that you have to prepare a list of vendors through whom you are acquiring the material. You call it as a approved vendor list. You prepare approved vendor list, and also in some of the libraries, in some of the libraries, Aparna, please, you have
only back massage.
yourself.
Only back massage.
Back pain.
30 rupees. 30 minutes.
What is Shakti Aparna? Please mute.
Only back to male therapist. Male therapist.
You please mute.
Dry massage.
Dry massage means I didn't get. Just
Lot
back.
of disturbances
Only
here.
back.
How dry?
They will do like this. Like this.
No oils and all, nothing.
Host is having the option to mute all the participants. Can you please mute as a host?
Ready only.
Yeah,
Thinner.
I am
Then full massage, so all pains and all will be going back.
Yeah.
In relax.
Relax.
So, okay. Now, the how you make purchases. There are 3-4 ways you can purchase, make purchases from the vendors. That is one, through approved. You prepare first a approved vendors list. You know who is the best supplier for a particular type of books: science books, social science books, law books, medicine books. So prepare a list accordingly. Otherwise, you may also invite the quotations or call the tenders for acquiring the publications, and also you may get books on approval. Books on approval means different booksellers receive the continuously new publications from different publishers. So what they do, they will prepare the profile of the different profiles of different libraries and keep with them. Whenever the books of interest of a particular institution is received with them, their representative goes to their particular library and provides certain few books to be put up to their library committees and get their recommendations. Once it is approved, it is order is placed. So we call such books as books on approval. There is no hard and fast rule that you should acquire whatever a bookseller is given to you on approval. You have choice. Your committee may recommend all the books, your committee may reject all the books, or they may select few books, and whatever is not approved will be taken back. So that is known as books on approval. So those things also forms the method of purchasing the books. Another method is there. The publishers, what they do, there will be a dealer library plan, we call it, under which whatever new books are received with a bookseller, he will continuously on a particular subject which you registered with them, they will send the publication, and you may retain what you want, what you like, otherwise you may return it. So similarly, there will be what we call standing orders. Standing orders means, there may be certain series of books you may be acquiring. For example, some encyclopedia is there, Encyclopedia of Computer Science, or McGraw-Hill Encyclopedia of Science and Technology. You may be Britannia Encyclopedia. Like that, continuously new reference materials come, or there may be a series of books of a particular society you may be acquiring. So you may place a standing order for a particular series. Whenever a new book is published in that series, automatically publisher sends that to the particular registered library, and if you see the contents useful to your library, you may retain, and they may send the invoice for that particular publication. That we call a standing order. All books in the particular series will be sent to you. And apart from that, there will be what we call membership purchases. Certain societies means associations of a particular subject. Those societies will be continuously publishing new publications given by their members, and those whatever the contributions are there of those members, it will be published in the form of some books. And those things, if you become the member of a particular society, whatever is published by that society will be sent to the library. That will be also the useful collection to your library. Apart from that, there may be certain subscription to the series of publications, subscription to the periodicals, subscription to the any publication which is given by a particular association or society. So you may get all those things depending on the as and when they are publishing, they will be sending. And of course, if you are a member, everything of that organization of which you are member will be sent to you. All those publications you may add to the libraries. Now let us have a look at what type of publications will be there which you may add to your collection for developing your collection. So you may add the books, printed books. It may be books on some media like CD. You may acquire some databases. You may acquire some books, e-books collection. So all those things, what we call documents. Documents includes everything. Published documents on paper. Documents may also be on some media like CD-ROM or DVD-ROM. So all those things you acquire in the library. If you have got equipment, if you have got a good network of computers in your organization, where all divisions and sections are provided with computers under network. There is a system administrator who is seeing, looking after whatever e-materials are received. He is able to communicate through the network to all 24/7. So such a organization can also acquire materials other than print materials on the paper. They may acquire it in the form of databases directly acquired from the publisher. They may be able to, and library may also have multimedia collection like CD-ROM, DVD-ROM, or audio video material. Library may have a TV set in the library so that whatever material is there on CD-ROM or DVD-ROM or on audio video material, they may be able to see on the TV screen in the library. There may be a separate room where one may get it. Apart from that, an important part of collection, library collection, is what we call periodicals. Why we call periodicals? Because they are published periodically. Journals, which are the collection, they are continuously, serially, they are published in the by the publisher in the form of journals. It may be a weekly journal, it may be a fortnightly journal, it may be monthly journal, it may be quarterly journal, it may be semi-quarterly journal, it may be half-yearly journal, it may also be annual publication. It may be any type of publication with different frequencies, publishing frequencies. So we call such periodicals as journals, scientific journals, magazines, or periodicals. Their meaning is same, but normally scholarly journals which have the research material only published, we call it as a scientific journal, while the topics of general nature, political, social, are published, we call it as a magazine. And also you may refer to in any form out of these 3-4 journals, scientific journals, scholarly journals, or it may be in any type of material. Okay. The journals are acquired by subscription. You know, when you place order for books, you need not pay in advance. If you are acquiring through some vendors, you need not pay in advance. First place order. When the book comes, it will be coming along with the invoice. And when you are satisfied, the material received is good in all aspects, you check it before making entry into the accession register. Then, while after making entry into the accession register, the bill is checked that everything is proper, there are no mistakes, proper pricing has been mentioned, proper discount is given, then you pass the bill and your book will be, you can send it to the maintenance, processing, and then for maintaining and circulation. So, but in case of periodicals, one has to pay in advance, one has to make advance payments in the form of subscriptions, what we call annual subscriptions, to be given either for print version of journals or for online journals. It is same, procedure is same. Only the thing, in case of online journals or what we call electronic journals, you may have to enter into a agreement with the publisher. What we call, you have to obtain the license for the publications so that you can, what we call, you continuously, you can use even after 1 year also. When your new volume comes, you can use previous year's issues. We call it perpetual action, perpetual access to given to a particular journal which you are subscribing. So The agreement or the license says you are given perpetual access to those materials which you are acquiring in your library by means of subscription. The subscription can be placed individually by organization, or you can enter as a member of a consortia. Consortia mode means what you do there, you librarians with similar interest, similar subject interest, join together and form a consortia. Single is consortium or consortium, and the plural is consortia. So you may become a member of consortia where you get the discount for the subscriptions which you are doing, and online access is given to a particular material to all the members of the consortia. There is CSIR consortia, industry consortia. Under CSIR, there is what we call National Knowledge Resource Consortium, NKRC we call. There is medical libraries consortia, engineering library consortia. So one may become the member of some consortia and get in discounted price the access to the material. And apart from the journal subscriptions, one may go for what we call getting periodicals through subscription, acquiring material like books and other material. One may go for non-book materials. Non-book materials means normally printed books are called as the books, and non-book material may consist of microforms. There may be microcard, back volumes of the journals or series of books may be available in microform, microfiche, microfilm, microcard. But to access those things, you need a microform reader cum printer. But only the drawback is there, you will be able to see one page at a time on the computer screen. Computer screen means the microfilm reader cum or microform reader cum printer. There you will have to move page by page. You may be able to take print, but all those things have become the things of past. Many libraries have discarded the microforms. Today is the environment. What type of environment? We use CDs, we use DVDs, we use databases, online databases, where continuous material will be coming. You will be accessing those material without any problem. You will be getting continuous access to 24/7 access to the material. So such things are useful. So non-book materials, it is only for the legacy materials. Suppose you want some periodicals to be acquired, there may be back files of the periodicals, what we call legacy files, or back files of the journals. You may acquire in some other media, maybe on CD-ROM, maybe on DVD-ROM, or even if you want, it may be on microforms. Apart from that, when the books are acquired, you place order, you get the books, send it for processing, classify it, catalog it, put the labels, put the information in the catalog database, send it to the stack room. So that is what we call maintenance part. Maintenance is very important. Arranging the books on the shelf. First thing, the maintenance section prepares a books fresh arrivals list and circulates to the reader. They may maintain the books on the shelves. Then they may be involved in keeping the books dust free, without cobwebs. They will be, whenever the books are used by readers, the maintenance staff will be required to re-put the books in the right place. They may also be involved in, suppose they find that some book is in the wrong place, that book is to be put in the right place. They may also require to identify the materials if it has damaged, either by due to termite, it may be due to rats or whatever it may be. Those materials are to be identified and maintained properly. So maintenance staff, maintenance section staff are having the greater responsibility of keeping the materials in good condition so that it can be used for longer duration. Materials should not get deteriorated at early stage. Another part is what we call conservation. Maintenance and conservation goes side by side. Maintenance, of course, general keeping dust-free environment and all those things. But conservation is keeping the materials in good condition for longer duration. Save the books. Conservation means saving. Conservation of water, conservation. So, like that, we have to conserve the materials acquired in the library. They may get deteriorated due to environmental factors, because our environment contains heat, our environment contains moisture, our environment contains water. So all these things, physical factors which are there, like dust and all. So dust and water both mix, they form the smog. Smog will be spoiling the books, moisture will be spoiling the books, dust will be spoiling the books, water and heat will be spoiling the books. So we have to save the publications from the environmental factors. If required, put book jackets. If required, use the dehumidifiers to save the books from the moisture or from the environmental effects. Then, apart from the environmental effects, there will be chemical effects. Paper is made of cellulose. It is liable to get damaged due to the chemicals available in the moisture, in the water. Hydrogen will be, H2O will be there in the what we call in water. All those things, and paper which is containing the cellulose may get damaged due to chemical factors. They may get acidity, what we call acidifying of paper. Nowadays, many publications are coming which will be, if you see on the backside of the title page, what we will call verso of the white title page, you may find this material is printed on acid-free paper. So nowadays, good acid-free paper is there. Otherwise, the paper will become yellow or brown. It may get damaged. It may become brittle. So all those things are to be considered. Apart from this, there will be some factors, what we call as the biological factors. Termites, bookworms, book lice, or your rodents, what we call these rats, cockroaches, they damage the books. So we have to save these publications which are there to be safe from these biological factors. So we have to, for conserving the publications, we have to take into consideration environment factors, chemical factors, and biological factors. One may put book jackets or thin transparent plastic covers over the books to save it from dust, save it from the environmental factors. So librarian is not only required to maintain, acquire the publication, but also to maintain the publication and conserve the publications from these effects. And then librarian not only is dealing with what we call the acquisition, they are also, apart from collection development, they have to maintain the collection and also weed it out, remove it, withdraw it from, if you find that some publication is badly damaged due to maybe this termite, maybe bug lice or something, or maybe due to water, leakages from the roof, or seepage from the walls. Something happened and the publications may get damaged, or maybe to be constant use by the readers. Sometimes a book is issued many times, 30, 40 times also, so they may get damaged. So see that all those books which are damaged are weeded out. You know, many libraries periodically, maybe some libraries annual, every year, sometimes it is once in 3 years, they are carrying out what we call physical verification. When they do stock verification or physical verification, at that time, they have to identify the materials, and those things which are damaged are to be removed by the librarian, his staff, or the members of stock verification committee. Those things are written up. There are 2-3 things way how you weed out. Weeding out maybe not only for damaged book. Sometimes what happens, you have got directories, some handbooks, which contains some latest or current information, yearbooks. But what happens after a few years, that information becomes outdated. We call it obsolete. Obsolete means it becomes useless. It is no more current. In such cases, what we do, we remove those obsolete materials, add with the new editions like a Handbook of Indian Universities, World of Learning, the information, the email addresses or phone numbers, mobile numbers, the fees, the structure of fees or duration of course, syllabus, the staff members who are teaching, all those things may change from time to time. So under new editions, such publications are old editions becomes useless. Only new editions are useful. In such cases, the books can be withdrawn from the collection. Sometimes what happens, what people do, they identify those materials which are not frequently used by the users, or not used at all for years, 1 or 2 years. Then such publications are segregated and kept in a separate place, in a separate room, though the catalog remains as it is, and they are marked that they have been segregated. Such publications give place for new publications on the shelves, physical space, as well as the other maintenance also becomes easy. So withdrawal, or what we call weeding out from time to time, becomes essential. It becomes essential. So we may have to do this process of weeding out or withdrawing the material easily. Lastly, as I told, you don't keep only paper collection under your library collection. Some nowadays digitization process is there, where we digitize the existing material which are there in printed form. From paper, it is converted to digitized form by taking image, making the images using the computer as well as the scanners, and then converting into digital files by running some softwares, digitization software. Nowadays, practice is there to create the born digital materials. When the material is created, itself it is created in the form of the computerized files or databases. So, born digital material and converted database, all those things will be available in digitized form. And also, apart from that, the digitized material is old volumes of journals. Old volumes of journals are normally created in the digitized format and sold by the publishers to the libraries to be on one-time sale basis. In our library, I have acquired many databases of the journals, back having legacy or back files from volume 1, issue 1 to the latest. And those things, the back files are what we call, we have to have digital archives. Archives means collection, digital collection of those materials which are back volumes. We call it as back volumes from going back to volume 1, and those things have to be preserved and made available 24/7 to the user. So this is all in a nutshell about the collection development in the library. And if anybody have got any question on what I have just spoken in 1 hour about the collection development, you may ask. I may try to reply for those things. If any doubt is there, you may please ask me. Yes, please. Anybody? Before I close, if any doubt is there, don't hesitate to ask question. I will try to answer it. Okay. If no doubt, we will stop here, and tomorrow at the same time, we will go for the next chapter under this, which is related to budgeting process and methods related to financial aspect. Today we are seeing the material resources, and tomorrow we will see about the financial resources, how it is to be managed in a library. Okay, so we will stop here and meet tomorrow at the same time. Okay, bye.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, no mention.